Ain't that about a... Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. And there's this thing called life. And sometimes, you ever... life, you ever hear it? Sometimes life just kicks you right in the yay. And it does it over and over again. And it just don't stop until suddenly one day you get an email and you say, man, that is sweet. And sometimes people in this world smile upon you and they do something that is kind and nice, and I sure do appreciate it. And there are a couple of people. One is named Alex Berman and one is named Diana Petrov. And I probably don't say these names right, but since when have I ever? But I got an email from Phantasia Press, and it was saying the book's coming my way. And sure enough, I had ordered a book, The Third Rule of Time Travel by Philip Fracassi, one of my favorite authors that ever walked God's greener earth. And I thought, oh, nice. It's coming. I didn't know it was being shipped. I didn't know all that stuff. And I went on Facebook and I posted, yay, it's coming. And Alex Berman then responded saying, sorry, it's not coming yet. Although he would later say that we're going to take steps and make efforts to make sure that at least some of our books are out there first, so that it becomes the first released version of that book, which is cool either way. I'm looking forward to it either way. But he said, no, this is something else that we decided to send you as a gift, as a kind gesture, and I do truly appreciate it. And that is a book called SUNDIVER, by the author of The Postman and Star Tide Rising, David Brin. And this is not it. I was at a toy store in Tampa, Florida, a vintage toy store. And I noticed in the very back section there, they had a rack of paperback books. And I knew that Phantasia Press was going to be publishing this book at some point. And I saw this. It's like an 8th printing or 3rd printing. I don't know. It's a later printing, 1st edition copy of the book. It looked pretty cool. And I said, hey, I need to buy that and read it. And it cost like $2. So I bought it. And fast forward a little bit, I found out that Phantasia Press was going to send me a copy of the book. Because I don't know. It was just a gift, a blessing, a kind gesture. And I went and grabbed this copy off the shelf and I said, I got to start reading it. And there I am. There I am right there. 3 days in, something like that. I've been working. I just got home from Miami. I've been in Miami working and started reading this book, fantasy story. Here's a little bit about it. Of all the intelligent races in the universe, none has survived without the guidance of the patrons except mankind. But if our patrons began the uplift of the human race eons ago, why did they abandon us? Circling the sun in the caverns of Mercury, Expedition Sundiver prepares for the most monumentous journey in human history, a journey into the broiling inferno of the sun to find our final destiny in the cosmic order of life. And so I've started reading it, and some interesting stuff, a fantasy novel. Some interesting stuff, a little bit of the back and forth politics of the thing, and there's people that believe that humans are the only creature that kind of earned their sentience as opposed to having some other thing uplift them and modify them genetically so that they could be sentient thinking beings and all that kind of stuff. And then other people feel like, hey, it was just, we don't know who uplifted the humans, and there's an expedition to the sun and they roped in the main character, what seemingly the main character, Jacob. They kind of roped him into this mission, him originally not going to do it. He was working on another project with a dolphin, trying to solve some problems and help advance and advance this species and this creature. And anyway, I haven't gotten that far into the book yet. But on to the matters at hand. Phantasia Press has delivered a package in the mailbox in conjunction with the friendly neighborhood mail lady. They have worked together to hook a brother up, and I sure do appreciate it, and I'm so looking forward to it. I've got a few Phantasia Press books on the shelf, including Mickey 7. And I was that was a title that I honestly had never heard of, even though it would become a movie that's out right now. Went and saw the movie at the drive-in. At the drive-in, the movie is all similar to the book, but the characters are much different. The story diverges, so it's similar but very different, if that makes any sense. But anyway, I love that book, and it was such a high-quality production. Beautiful book. Fabulous in a slipcase and all that stuff. I'm a big fan of Phantasia Press, especially their resurrected product. It was a company that I guess in the 80s was big. I got a couple of books, their old published books. One signed by William Shatner even. But anyway, they have come back from the dead. And this would be their second book, their second numbered edition type book since then. They've done, I think they did a lettered edition version also. But they did Mickey 17, this one, and the Third Rule of Time Travel should be out very soon. But here's my book. It's in a package with a nice PP Phantasia Press sticker. PP. I wish I had a sticker like this with a back on it so I could stick it on something. But maybe I can get this sticker off without ruining it and reuse it. Find some place to stick it. I think I can come up with a place. Not there. I'm sorry. But let's take this out without dropping anything. Phantasia Press Publications. Look at here. That's cool. It almost looks as though all of the Phantasia Press publications are listed on this thick, sturdy ad card that looks so cool. I'll have to save this with the book. Firestarter, Stephen King's first signed limited edition, 1980. So that's neat. It's thick card stock, and it answers some of the questions that I don't have the answers to. And here are the three newest ones that I've mentioned. Really can't wait for the Third Rule of Time Travel also. I'm looking forward to that one. And so it's wrapped in plastic, shrink wrap, but it's been opened as though it was shipped from the publisher like this, and then it had to be opened for probably to be numbered. I'm guessing that's maybe the printer, the binder, whoever doesn't number them, perhaps. I don't know. But anyway, let me take this out and show you what it's like. One of the cool things about Phantasia Press is slipcases. And I love slipcases. I buy slipcases, aftermarket custom slipcases to cover books sometimes because I like them so much. Phantasia Press, it comes that way. And this is a cool, more of a traditional type of a slipcase. It feels like thick cardboard. Thick. You see how thick the walls are? Wrapped in cloth. Cool, man. It's the way slipcases, good slipcases were. A lot of companies from the 80s and 90s and all the way up to now, they might make slipcases and they're wrapped in paper and stuff and all sorts of cool versions. But when they're cloth, it feels right. DB. I wonder what that means. That's the author's initials. I got his initialed slipcase right there. And then on the end of the back of the slipcase, this is a nice touch for folks. There are a lot of folks, and I love some of them. They like to put their books on the shelves the wrong way. And they put it on the shelf like that to protect the spine of the book from dust or sun or what have you. But when you got slipcase books and you do that, a lot of times you have no idea what the book is. But Phantasia Press has solved your problem. Some of these publishers now are putting the book's title, the author, the logo right on the spine, and it looks good. And this is upside up. Hot foil stamping, and it looks so cool. But let's take this out. Oop, there was something in there. See that thick slipcase? What was in there was a bookmark. It fell out of the slipcase. I love bookmarks, and I use them. I use bookmarks to read. I use them, and I like it. And I can't remember now if I had a Phantasia Press bookmark. If I did, I stuck it in the book. I haven't used it, but I stuck it in the book, and that's what I'll do with this one. And there is the dust jacket artwork. It looks so dandy. It looks so nice. It looks so nice. And that's what I really loved about Mickey 7 and what I really love about Sundiver is how good it looks. I mean, there's other things to love about the books themselves, but the publication itself, when you buy a limited edition book and you pay extra money for these kinds of things, it really helps if they look good also on the shelf. And this just looks so good. There are a few publishers out there that's caught my eye by the way the books looked. SST Publications is one. I bought a couple books from them because of the author, but when I got to looking at their catalog, some of the other books jumped and caught my eye because of how beautiful the dust jacket artwork was. And now I'm a Stephen Graham Jones fan because I judged the book by the cover. But anyway, I stretch out that dust jacket artwork and it looks so nice. It looks so good. And the dust jacket artwork by Jim Burns, it does look good. And you can see a little bit of the story right there in that dust jacket artwork. But it looks so good. Let's take the book now. Take the book. And I'll put a link in the description for this. There, you can still buy copies. But it's a cloth-bound book. Quality stuff. Matches the slipcase. This book in the slipcase would look just fabulous even without a dust jacket. But the book itself matches the slipcase. And you got the DB on the board, front boards, it looks good. The spine, that hot foil stamping. Yeah, there you go, upside up. It looks so nice. You get Smith's sewn binding. Those end bands look cool too. It just looks so good. Built well, looks good, constructed strongly, and all that stuff. And those end papers, they look plain, but if I can get the light just right, maybe one day I'll get it right. You can see the texture on the end papers and you can feel it, but they look really nice. Quality end papers. All right, so let me flip through here a little bit and find out, I think the Phantasia Press signature page. I'm looking in the front saying I think it's in the back, but I didn't want to flip to the back if it wasn't. And there, ooh, look at there. In the back is the signature page, but look at there. Look at that artwork. That looks so good right there. I love I don't know if you call that a charcoal or a pencil or something. There was no way to choke the devil. It looks so good, but there is our limitation page and all of those signatures in that fancy, shiny, silver, sharp paint pen. Each piece of the signature just looks so good. And there are how many there are? There are 425 numbered, 26 lettered, 4 Roman numeral, and 5 author copies. All copies are signed by the authors and artists. And this is a PC copy. And man, people say different things about what PC stands for. I always just figured something like publishers' copies. I don't know. But book publishers will typically, for a variety of reasons, print some extra copies. Some might be a handful. Some publishers out there might print hundreds of them. I don't know. And they'll have different reasons for doing that. One, if I'm going to sell 420 copies of a book and I order 420 copies and they're all numbered, I'm going to lose some. Either getting damaged in the mail or damaged from the printer or damaged as I'm numbering them, lost. So I'm going to have to replace some for people. So I need to have some extras. Also, they probably have some folks like authors, for example, or artists or friends, whatever, that they are going to have, here's some extras so we can give you one. And they might call those PC copies. Some publishers will leave the number blank, which is risky because there's probably 5 or 6 number ones of a lot of books out there. And then some might put other things. I got one that's got my initials on it in there, which is cool too. But anyway, PC copy, you'll see them around sometimes. And that's typically the gist of it. It'll usually be, in most cases, it'll be exactly the same. It's just an extra one that was made. And so it won't be numbered sequentially. It'll be a PC copy. Now, some publishers out there might have PC copies with a little bit fewer things. Like you might find PC copies that don't have slipcases, where the rest of them came with slipcases. So you might see some of that stuff too. I've got a PC copy here and there that I bought from old books where the numbered copy came with a slipcase and the PC copy didn't, or things like that, but works for me. But I like to flip through here a little bit and show you what it looks like. So first of all, we got there, that's what it looks like when you're reading this book. The margins are small. The text is, I'd say, probably just slightly bigger than normal for a hardcover. Not giant or anything like that. But the paper is thick. Now the paper is kind of slick feeling. Not slick, but it's pretty smooth feeling. But it's thick paper. Good quality paper. They jam a lot of words into a few pages. Some of these pages here, you get the 2-color printing, which I always like. I like it. There are features, and features always cost extra. One of the features that some publishers like is 2-color printing, and I dig that. Others are illustrations, and I dig those too. And so if I had to choose one or the other, I would always choose illustrations. But when I look at 2-color printing, when I see those pages, it always pops to me, and it always makes me feel good. A little bit of extra something cool to see. So while I wouldn't trade illustrations for 2-color printing, I like it when you can have both. Why can't we just have both? Well, the issue is all that stuff costs more. So it makes the price go up. The price goes up. Do you want to pay more? And so that's kind of what you run into. But there were, I'm believing there were a couple of interior illustrations in here. And I've already shown you some illustrations in there. I'm just flipping through, making sure I don't miss anything. I don't want to miss a thing. And here we go, a fold-out illustration. And I gotta be careful with these because I don't want to drop the book. I don't want to damage anything. But if you look at this very large fold-out, full color, full page illustration right there, it looks so cool. It looks so nice. Let's show it again. Pause for the cause. The centerfold and everything, but it looks really, really nice. And I want to be careful that I don't damage it by handling it, that particular illustration. But I don't want to flip through here. I don't want to miss anything. I really, man, those chapter headings, they look good. I dig that kind of stuff. I like the features. I like the extra features, the quality, and Phantasia makes the books look good. And so this is SUNDIVER. It's the first book of a series, but I think they long ago had published the other books in the series, and they didn't publish this one. So interesting. And I'm really glad to be able to add this one, and I'm sure appreciative and thankful to the folks at Phantasia Press for hooking a brother up. It looks very nice. It looks so nice, and it's high quality stuff. And I'm paying attention. I've got that list of publishers that I really dig, and the list of publishers that I'm watching, and any of those publishers in Phantasia Press is on the list. The high quality stuff that looks really nice, that I'm watching everything they do, seeing what comes out. They got a Facebook collector of Phantasia Facebook group, fans, something like that. I can't remember the name of all the different Facebook fan groups for publishers and authors and stuff. I follow them all, at least the ones that I'm interested in. There's a publisher or two out there who's got a Facebook group who I do not follow, but I'm definitely fans of Phantasia Press. And that might be the one it's called. I don't know. Fans. Anyway, you can look it up. It ain't that hard to find. A private group where you can get news and information and people talking about the books they got and showing off the books they got, saying what books they want and wish and all that kind of stuff. And with that being said, I can think of no more lies to tell. Check out the description. I'll put a link in there for it. And also check out The Third Rule of Time Travel by Philip Fracassi. it is a fabulous book. I read that one the moment I got the chance to read it before release day. I had to scheme and scam and do lots of dirty deeds to be able to read that book early. I was fortunate, and it's fabulous. To check that one out, go to Phantasia Press and order The Third Rule of Time Travel if they have any left, because once they're sold out, Philip Fracassi limited edition books tend to be expensive once they sell out. Anyway, thank you for your time, and c'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo.